So, it's been a while since I've done this, so I apologize for it being a little bit late. But hey guys, how's it going? It is your boy, Manga Andrew, and I'm here to cover the volume extras for My Hero Academia, Volume 37. And there is some interesting stuff to be said that is going to be in the volume extras for My Hero Academia, but I'm just going to jump right into it because it's been a while since I've done this and this is going to be a little bit later, so let's dive right into the important stuff and the things that you want to know and see about the volume. For starters, the volume cover itself looks very fantastic with Deku on the cover holding Bakugo, covering up the entire hole in his chest, and how when this came out there was a little bit of controversy, and by controversy I mean shipping. Because of just the fact that people ship Deku and Bakugo. Me personally, I don't. But they use this as evidence of, oh yeah, the ship is confirmed, they're definitely gay, and this is going to be the end-game ship. Me personally, I do not think that it is the case. I'm not saying definitively that Deku and or Bakugo are definitively straight, nor am I saying that they are gay. We just do not have enough evidence to prove the either side of that spectrum. At the very least, all we know is that Deku does get flustered when he is talking to women, and he seems to appear to show some form of attraction towards the female figure. But with that aside, this cover just looks amazing because I really like the clashing of the green and yellow on Deku along with his green aesthetic, really contrasting with the red in the background, which if you look very closely is nothing but the Shigaraki fingers. But going from the actual cover of the volume, we also get another title page for the cover, which is just Mirko being cute. Horikoshi really just loves drawing his muscular bunny waifu, and you know what? I'm all for it. But with that, we also get to see that we're going to get the table of contents where we are going to be covering approximately 12 chapters in this volume, starting from chapter 363 and going all the way to chapter 374. And there's something about the contents and the titles of one of these chapters that is something very important that is in the volume extras that we will be addressing within the future of this video. But going into a little bit more of the pertinent stuff that we get in the volume extra, we actually get to learn a little bit more about Edgeshot, where we actually get to see more of his civilian attire, where it's revealed that he actually does have a mustache. And it's a very small one, it's not that much hair, but if you actually look at the actual page where he is using his Ninpo 1000 piercing sheets, his ultimate move to save Bakugo, you can actually tell that he does have a mustache here, and it's just covered in blood so you can't really see it. And I do believe that we get his full name completely revealed here, as well as we get to see that Edgeshot as well as Best Jeanist, how they were 2 years apart, and how Best Jeanist was a third year and Edgeshot was a first year at UA. And something else we do get with the volume extras is kind of an explanation for how these individuals met at UA, which is that they basically joined the Textile Arts Association and that they used this club as a way to train their quirks and to hone their skills as heroes because they had similar quirks. However, it got shut down after Best Jeanist graduated, most likely because there was only 2 students in the club. And we also get to see that they also have a poster that shows pretty much what they're advertising as their club. So I really just like these smaller moments that we are being given in the volume extras because it really adds to the person and the character that is Edgeshot as well as Best Jeanist. And after that, we do get a well-drawn image of Mandalay as we do have Horikoshi explaining a little bit more about his life and how, quote, as time goes by, the more I realize how I'm not very good at inking my drawings, I want to draw using only a mechanical pencil. I really want to. Implying that this image of Mandalay was actually drawn by Horikoshi using a mechanical pencil. So I just really like the volume extras where Horikoshi is able to put his personality into the manga, and we can really see the type of person that he is, at least the character that he is trying to portray. And once again, his art looks amazing. But going from there, we're getting more into probably what you're looking forward to, which is the volume extras involving Deku and the second user's quirk of Gear Shift, where we get an explanation of what's happening and how more or less what Deku is doing is trying to imitate the actual function of shifting gears in a car. And because he doesn't really have that much experience with an actual car, this is just kind of how he visualizes it, even though it may not necessarily be how he actually would do it in a car. And what Deku is trying to visualize is that he's trying to shift the gears as if he's in a car, and he is doing it in a similar motion. However, because he doesn't know how to actually drive, he doesn't really understand the real mechanics of it and how it actually works, but he's trying his best because that's all that Deku does. He always tries his best. And don't worry, Deku, you're probably going to eventually learn how to drive. You just have to keep at it. But I will say how he is visualizing using gear shift in this moment when he's visualizing an automatic gear shift, what I think is very interesting about it is that he may be actually visualizing it being automatic, but performing it as if he's doing it in a manual gear shift. But with that, let's shift gears into something else, more specifically, the, controversy around a certain female character. And that female character is Hagakure, because apparently Horikoshi explains why he used the Hagakure image as a sort of reasoning for why that was the color page for that chapter, even though it had nothing to do with the chapter itself. And pretty much the story behind that color page is that the color page had nothing to do with the plot, right? That's because it was like a reference sheet to test Hagakure's color scheme that I drew years ago and didn't intend to publish anywhere. But then I ran out of time to draw a new piece and was asked, don't you have any color drawings you can use? Well, I usually don't care if the color page has to do with the chapter, but in this case, I was quite baffling. There was only a JPEG file, which was quite a scare. So yeah, the implication of it is that he drew this image as a sort of like testing ground, most likely for how Hagakure would look eventually when she has her face revealed in the manga, or probably more specifically what she would look like in the anime in her colored image. But it makes sense. Horikoshi does not seem to be the best person to be planning things all out. And the fact that it's a JPEG means that they probably had to do a little bit of editing to it because, Hagakure is a naked woman, and that is something that is very not appropriate necessarily in a story meant for kids. However, I think any naked person would not necessarily be suitable for kids, so But from what is stated in this part of the volume extras, it was not something that he intentionally did, he just did it because he ran out of time. And speaking of time, it's time to talk about Nejire. And we get in the volume extras how Horikoshi can be very forgetful when it comes to certain characters, and in this case, Nejire. Because we have him basically saying that the author apparently can't remember Nejire-chan's uniform at all, so every time he has to check the anime and the website, Which, this is something that isn't uncommon. This isn't the first time a mangaka has to refer to outside sources to remember something that he put in his own story. For example, Oda has also forgotten something within his own story, even though he believed that he revealed it later on when it came to Kid and the reveal of the name of his devil fruit. He believed that he had revealed it earlier in the story, however he had to go back and realize that he didn't, so he had to reveal the name within one of the extras in the One Piece volumes. So pretty much what this shows is that Horikoshi is just a normal person that is just forgetful sometimes. But what isn't forgetful? The fact that My Hero Academia had reached 8 years of serialization in Shonen Jump and had recently celebrated its 8th popularity poll. And how Horikoshi talks about this in the volume extra and brings this up. However, he believes that this may be the final popularity poll for My Hero Academia, but that he's very thankful for everyone that voted in the actual poll itself. As we see that he has drawings of some very minor characters. We see the Weasel Fox Girl, the dude with the 3 stars on his head that Deku met at the beginning of this chapter, the new dark-skinned weather lady that is very attractive, as well as one of the year 2 students at UA that were convinced by class 1A to help them with the little spiral pompadour on his head. So yeah, they're celebrating the fact that My Hero Academia has reached its 8th year of serialization, and it may reach its 9th very soon. And now we're approaching the end of the volume extras, and the volume extra that I really wanted to bring up when it came to the title of a chapter that we saw in this volume. And the title that I'm talking about is referring to Together with Shoji from chapter 371. And how in the volume extras, you have Horikoshi bringing up that this title actually refers to an older sketch that he posted years ago about Shoji around the time the second movie came out. And the movie that he's most likely referring to is My Hero Academia Heroes Rising. And to go back and bring reference to the sketch, we see it's referring to this movie because we see that Shoji is hanging around the 2 kids who played a major role in that second movie. And you just have Horikoshi bringing up the idea how he wanted to fill the blank space with something, and that he really wanted to reuse that old sketch, and that he's very happy that he was able to do it. And when it comes to what he put in this page and on this cover page, it is that he wanted to put Shoji in a more Japanese attired clothing, and that's because he really likes to see Shoji in that attire. and how Horikoshi just really wanted to do it, so he did it. And you just have both Mina as well as Sero just making comments about how good Shoji looks in that attire, and if I may say so, he does look really amazing in that Japanese attire. And now we're approaching the end of the volume extras, where the last thing that I'm going to be tackling are going to be the alternative back covers for the actual volumes themselves, where one of them is just an image of Spinner looking very sad and upset, as well as we get to see that Edgeshot is actually on the spine of the cover. And another one of the back covers just features Shoji about to remove his mask. And having both Spinner as well as Shoji appear on the back covers just makes sense because of the big roles that they played, not only in this volume, but most likely in this war. And that's pretty much it, with a final page that is actually a volume preview for volume 38, where you have Edgeshot saying that in the next volume, those guys will do this thing and also that thing, plus Ultra, looking forward to it. Which is most likely referring to the fight between Deku and Shigaraki, or Shigaraki and All For One, or, dating this video, potentially Tokoyami versus All For One. There are so many things that this could be referring to, so let's just wait and see what is in store for volume 38. So yeah, that's pretty much all the volume extras that we have for right now. Sorry this is coming out a little bit later. I was very preoccupied with, just life stuff, but yeah. Hopefully this is something that y'all have been looking forward to, and hopefully you will be able to enjoy the actual volumes when they come out in English, but this is just giving you a taste of what is going to be in store. But yeah, this is all I really have to say on this topic. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, hopefully you enjoyed the topic itself, and if you want to see more content like this, and you really like me covering My Hero Academia content, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you want to see more content like this. So hopefully, do all of this cool jazz, and hopefully, I'll be able to catch you in my next video. Goodbye!